And away we go.
Alright, so, how's everything been?
Great.
Alright, so, what else is in the news? Sorry, I don't know why I said what else is in the news. We didn't even get to the news yet. But, so, what is in today's news?
Many, many things.
Alright, I guess we're gonna start from one.
Yes. Accused CEO killer Luigi Mangione asks fans to send no more than 5 photos at a time.
What? Wait,
Yeah.
what? To send him
Luigi,
five
no more
photos
than 5 photos at a time.
of
I mean,
what?
uh, is
What?
himself?
Wait,
Themselves? I don't know. It's
why
just,
is this man? Wait, why is this man asking his fans to send him photos, knowing dang well that most of his fans are women? What does he think that they're gonna say? Alright, what does he need? Material?
well, okay. Luigi Mangione has requested fans to send no more than 5 photos at a time to the federal jail in Brooklyn where he is held. A message on a fundraising website states that every photo is screened and reviewed by law enforcement.
Okay, so they're screen by
Yeah,
law enforced. Okay, I mean, I feel like these women are gonna send probably not fully nude, but suggestive photos. Cause I know no dude is sending them a photo, unless they're gay and are attracted to him. But still, I know no dude is gonna send them any photos.
true.
So, like, why is he asking his fans to send him photos of gay? Like, is he trying not to forget what a girl's face would look like?
Maybe just bored.
That's it. Fine. Maybe he is just bored.
Yeah.
But hey, he's still in the news though. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there at one. Well, to me, he wasn't really relevant at all, but to other people, he was. And
Yes, exactly.
I feel like he already has 15 minutes of fame. I mean, I didn't even know he was still. I guess because he's up there. I guess with all the
Yeah,
other.
he's literally the guy that assassinated a CEO of a healthcare insurance company.
Still pretty stupid. It wouldn't really fix anything to kill the guy, but he he did that.
He got the attention he wanted, and this is the life he lives.
Yeah, you know what? He's not a terrible looking guy, but it's like he probably could have done something else with his life. I don't know, modeling. I'm pretty sure he grew up in a wealthy family, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So like he could have really done anything with his life. And
Yeah,
if he gets out early, he still can. He has money.
he does. Yeah,
He could have legitimately done anything, but he chose to kill a guy in a guy who works in insurance.
yeah.
That's that's what he chose to do with his life. He good, like decent looking guy in great shape, has it. Probably could have gotten with any girl he wanted. You know, okay, not any girl, but for the most part, he had the look. He had the look. He could have done anything. He could have done modeling, acting, anything really. And then probably, that's the life then. But he said no. I want to do something more. I want to do something big. I want to fight for the people. So he decided to kill someone.
Yes, because he knows that a lot of people that didn't live the life that he lives and don't have the financial freedom, they are certainly going to despise those mostly on top and or have the money to do whatever they want. And especially those in powers of authority and influence in a
Mhm.
company or some organization that shifts, I'm not sure how else to describe it, but the CEO of a healthcare insurance company. Now, to not to be declared to be denied insurance for health for whatever you've gone through, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah,
And
you're absolutely.
that's when he thought he'd take the opportunity.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, either way, none of this is good. So, I mean, it ultimately is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Exactly. You can't really do anything about it. I mean, all you can really do is just
Express your opinion about it.
exactly. And well, how do we?
I'll have to go back and see. It'd be quite a long time.
I'm not gonna lie. How do these work? How do how do these justice systems work? Because here's the thing. I don't know. I just feel like a reasonable judge would just say, "You killed this man. We have you on tape. This and that, etc." I guess that because they're lawyers, they're defending them. I guess they're kind of making like
They're trying to justify Luigi killing the CEO.
yeah. So I guess with that in hand, I guess with that in mind, it would take longer. They expected. I guess everyone does deserve a. I was about to say like maybe he just shouldn't get a lawyer and he's just like make the case quick, but at the same time, I do believe even you know I believe everyone deserves a fair trial with a lawyer and whatnot. So
Yes,
I'm not gonna say he doesn't deserve a fair trial. I
exactly.
suppose I suppose that's why it takes long because like they have good lawyers who are just trying to kind of justify their actions and whatnot. To I don't know. Even if you don't get them off like completely, at least get them a lighter sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, hey man, I guess man, like Luigi. Ironic that's his name. But it's a bit ironic that's his name. But still, like I guess Luigi is. I don't know. Maybe there should be like a certain. Maybe there should be some form of a time frame to like reach a decision and not prolong it for so many unnecessary years.
Yeah.
Cause shoot, who knows? This could last for 10 years. This whole case could last for 10 years, and with like and still with no decision.
Yeah, maybe when the time is right, maybe they will come to a decision and they will give him the sentence that
But
that reflects his actions.
exactly, a part of me believes that they do this because I don't know. They just probably need something in the news. A part of me believes that.
Yeah, and also some some form of distraction in case some plan that would impact how we live in society. And if people found out sooner than they should have known, they are not going to be happy. They would
Yeah,
revolt, they would protest, and do what they can to put an end to it. Even though most people in this world are pretty much unhealthy and not the sharpest tool in the sheds. But
yeah,
they could go further with that in
that's true.
hopes that they can actually go unfiltered, no mask, and straight up say this stuff, and people won't bat an eye about it.
That's true. That is true. I mean, you know, there are going to be those few people who can do that, and there are going to be other people who can't do that. But ultimately speaking, it just depends on the situation and the scenario. So, in his case, once again, I don't know why this man is asking for 5 photos. I guess it's because like his fans already send him photos. I'm gonna I'm gonna go off of the idea and say that his fans. I'm gonna go off of a limb and say that like his fans already was sending him photos, but they were just probably more than he can actually look through. So he's saying, just calm down, just send 5. I was talking like he was requesting these, but I'm not gonna lie, his fans probably already send photos of themselves to him in his jail cell for some odd reason. I don't know. I guess like the fact that the dude is good looking and the dude is now him probably because of the fact that he's good looking and that they kind of get a thrill off of a guy who killed another man.
Yeah, just like that one Britney Spears song.
What'd you say?
Just like that one Britney Spears song.
I have not listened to all of her songs, so I can
But I know
discuss
one
it.
of them. I'm in love with a criminal. At least that's how the lyrics goes.
Oh, really? That's how
Yeah,
the lyrics.
that's literally the lyrics to one of her songs.
Was she actually in love with a criminal?
No, I'm talking about Britney Spears' song.
Oh,
Fell in love with a criminal.
no. I mean, I thought like that song was just inspired from her actually being in love with a criminal. That's about it.
Well, yeah, that too, but since Luigi Mangione did what he did, that song has been played every now and then every time he's seen on people's For You pages.
Oh, okay. So that song is played every single time when they're talking about Luigi.
Yes, most of the time. Because it just fits. It makes sense.
I mean, these women are in love with a criminal. Shoot,
Yeah.
maybe I should be a criminal. But I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, let's say that when times get desperate.
Yeah, no. Plus, I'm not. I don't. Yeah. Plus, I'm not gonna do that. Plus, I
Fair
don't
enough,
want.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, neither do I,
Yeah,
but who knows?
yeah, yeah. But who knows? Maybe there are gonna be times when you're gonna have to live like a criminal.
Yes,
Maybe.
especially when, well, we said it many times, CBDC, digital ID, and other similar themes. So it's getting closer, and we may not intend to be incriminating, but that's that's pretty much the direction we're heading in.
Well, I mean, like, look. I would say, like, they'll either, who knows? They'll probably, on a lot. Nope. I mean, if it gets serious, extremely serious, they'll probably unalive us if it gets extremely serious. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, if
Yeah,
it gets that serious to the point where it's like, they want to make you do it, but you don't want to do it. But yeah, I would say, like, it'll probably get to that point.
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, for the most part, I would say, yeah, like, with the CDC, like, everything is just going to go upside down. I'll be honest, I'm giving it 3, 4 years, same as Trump's term. But in reality, I don't really know when it's gonna happen. I don't.
Yeah, it'll just happen when we least expect it.
Exactly. It's all gonna happen when we least expect it. Even if it does happen when I least expect it, I at least want to be in a different. I at least want to be in a different location that's not in the city of New York.
Yes.
Ah, but it is kind of depressing. I mean, I've said this before. You used to just be able to have a dream and probably worry about what's coming next after. Like, for a bit, but ultimately it wasn't that worrying because like we were still kind of developing everything. A lot of things were not made. Now it's just we live in a technology type society, and a lot of things are developing very quickly because of how like amazing technology is becoming. So
Yeah.
I used to have a dream about being an astronaut and just make that dream come true. Now, although as of right now, I'm not even sure if we can go in space, so I wouldn't see the point in becoming an astronaut. I don't believe we can go into space because Elon Musk has tried so many times, but the rocket just would not hit through the firmament of the world. It just wouldn't go through.
It wouldn't.
But yeah, I mean, so I really don't get the idea of astronaut as a career anymore. I don't get it. Now, if my child said that he wanted to be an astronaut, I'm not going to crush his dreams and say space is not real. I mean, I could believe that it's real. I could. I just, I don't
There will
know.
come a point you're gonna find out that that's not the case.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could believe that. I could honestly believe that it's real. I mean, if we're talking about it, I'm not going to go out of my way and say, "Oh yeah, space is not real." If you think space is real, cool. I mean, because I have no way of proving, proving or nor disproving it. So, it's like if space is real, then yeah, it wouldn't really necessarily affect me in any negative way. But it's like I don't know. I don't know. It's like I've seen like Elon Musk's rockets. They broke midway. They blew up midway, and it's like they didn't go through the firmament. So it's like you have to ask yourself, is space even real? But that question doesn't necessarily haunt me because in fact I think this is the only time I actually talk about it really. Like whenever I'm on this podcast with you, that's the only time I talk about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, for the most part, space. To the world, it's real. And to other people, like myself, it may be real, it may be not. Who knows? But yeah, back to Luigi. I'm going to say that I wish him the best of luck in his trial. And he will be seeing, And this trial is most likely going to take a couple of years of his life and to truly return. And they're probably going to keep prolonging it because they need some form of news in the media to report on. And
Yes.
yeah, and they'll make a decision. And they'll make a decision. And if he goes to jail for a very long time, I don't know how long, but a very long time, or will he be scot free within like 4 years or something? But either way, what else is in the news?
BBC criticised by 500 media figures for pulling Gaza documentary.
I'm not even surprised because a lot of people are with Gaza, and I would say why did they pull that documentary anyways?
Gary Lineker, Anita Rani, Riz Ahmed, and Miriam Margulis are amongst more than 500 media figures who have criticized the BBC's decision to pull a documentary about children's lives in Gaza.
Okay, you read it. Okay, that's why. Yeah, like pretty much. I guess they didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to seem like they were supporting Gaza because, well, other people would say because they're controlled by Israel. Israel made them do it. And you know what? Maybe they're correct. Maybe they're not correct. I'm not really 100% sure. But, yeah, they're definitely getting some backlash on, like, pulling that as well.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, I would say that both sides are in the wrong. None of them are right. You're killing each other. You're killing innocent children on both sides. And you need to resolve this quickly. Otherwise, it's just going to turn into more and more chaos. There's really nothing we can do. All we can do is talk about it. All we can do is report on it. All we can do is just tell them to stop killing one another. But they're not going to listen to us. They're only going to listen to themselves. They're going to listen to their higher ups. They're going to listen to the people who tell them to do war and to not do war. I mean, you know, probably for the sake of keeping people distracted and for keeping people just like preoccupied. I mean, shoot, I heard the Epstein files were dropping today. But let's see if that happens. Let's see if I don't know. They news is just a distraction to distract us from like the major problems that are happening within government, that are happening within the world in general. Because I'm not gonna lie, the everyday robbery is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, but they use that as a distraction. The everyday killing, unfortunate, but they use that as a distraction. When in reality they just distract us from the huge problems, and they distract us from the huge problems that are actually going on in the world. And well, frankly, we just gloss over it because we're too distracted. And although it's not all of us, but the majority of us are also too dumb to see it, unfortunately. But for the most part, yeah. As for this war, like I said, they need to come to an agreement. They need to stop it, and that's if they want to. But you have to question if they actually want to or not, or if they're just doing it for money, which is probably what they're doing, which is most likely what they're doing for financial gain. So it's just a matter of will they stop it for the sake of just the people, so kids can stop dying, so women and children can stop dying, so people all around can stop dying and stop worrying about their children and stop worrying about their children potentially facing danger because of these wars. Yeah, there's not really much you can do about it. I mean, unless we're gonna. I mean, I know me and you aren't gonna go on the forefront and fight.
No.
Yeah, no, exactly. So yeah, they just need to resolve this problem and everything will be good. Well, not good, but better. No, not better. Not better. Decent. That's a better word. That's decent. And
Yes.
people would say the world is healing. Every time when it heals even a little bit, the wound gets bigger.
Yes, it does.
The wound just gets bigger. And you can get the biggest band-aid you want, but ultimately speaking, it's gonna
It
bleed.
will never be enough.
Yeah, it won't. And it's gonna bleed through that band-aid, and it's gonna bleed through the band-aid, and you're gonna need to put on another band-aid. I would say you might need to pour some rubbing alcohol on it to make it a little bit better, but ultimately speaking,
It's going to
yeah,
be painful.
It will. But a lot of it will. But what are we really gonna do? What can we do? I mean, only really the higher ups can pour. Honestly, all we can do is put on a band-aid. The higher ups are the ones who can pour on that rubbing alcohol, rub the wound, and then put a band-aid on, and then it'll truly heal. And then we can take that band-aid off, and all better. But that's not gonna happen. There's too much money in war to be made until they decide, okay, we're done making money with this. We're gonna end this war right now. So yeah, well, all we can do is talk. Well, me and you per se. They can actually do the real action. So all we can do is talk. But what else is in the news?
Andrew and Tristan Tate leaving Romania for US following lifted travel ban.
Really? Like they're coming back to the US of A. Wouldn't that be
Seems
worse?
like it.
Wouldn't that be worse for them? Kinda?
Well, the controversial influencers facing human trafficking charges remain under judicial supervision as questions arise about US political involvement.
Well, I mean, hey. After talking crap about the USA, they realized that Romania isn't the place to be. So you know what? Welcome back to the USA, boys. Welcome back. Because they're technically US citizens, so welcome back. I mean, that's all I gotta say. Welcome back. I mean, hey. I'll be honest. You remember when Andrew said he was gonna run for Prime Minister?
Oh yeah.
That didn't last very long.
No, he didn't.
How come?
Well, maybe that's because there wasn't anyone to allow the freedom to do so, because any chances that the Tate brothers were to leave, country that say that will arrest them if they do arrive on their soil, they will do that. They will arrest them on soil.
Wait, they said that? Within Romania or the UK?
UK, I think the UK has said at some point that if the Tate brothers were to come back, they could be arrested. But but that was a long time ago. I think things could have changed since then, but that's the last time I remember hearing.
Ah, got you. I'm not gonna lie, that just proves Andrew's a bit of a grifter. I mean, like, it's like, come on, man. How are you gonna say you're gonna run for Prime Minister and be so adamant about it, and then just completely dump the idea entirely?
Yeah.
Really dumb. I mean, like, bro, I would say, like, if you didn't look, Andrew, if you didn't know what you were doing, that's fine. You could have done some research and really, before tweeting, determine if that's something that you actually want to do. You should have done the proper research. You probably realized. Shoot, think of it in a Naruto sense. It's like it's like being the Hokage. It's like being the Hokage. It sounds fun, getting respect and admiration from your village, but ultimately speaking, it's a lot of paperwork behind the scenes that only a qualified individual could do. And frankly, I'm not gonna lie. I can't do paperwork. I can't. Well, no, I can. I really no, I can. I just don't want to. I don't want to do anything that has paper, involves paper and work,
Or
unless
both.
yeah, or both. Yeah, but you gotta kind of pick. Gotta in this life you gotta pick. Like for instance, just like me getting a desk job, I don't want that because it's like I don't know. I'm a bit too fidgety for that. I mean, I like sitting down and laying down, but only when I want to. If I have to do it for hours and hours on end for work, that is just that is depressing. Like, shoot, I'd be questioning my life choices. To like, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? And I really would. I'd be questioning everything. I mean, like if that was my life. Now, obviously, now it's one thing if I chose to do it. It's one thing if I said, okay, I want to work at this desk job like my father. But if it was literally the only option for me, ugh. It's just like that one job when I was working in Times Square, and I was a maintenance person. It was depressing, only because there were older people there who were older than me. They seemed like they should have retired. It was just sad. Seriously,
Yeah.
I felt bad for them. I really did. But I would say I would say if there was no other option for me, then yeah, sure, I would do that. I mean, New York is a pretty interesting place. It is. I mean, it's a nice walking. It's a nice place to walk around in and just see a bunch of different people and ethnicities visiting the city. That's nice. That's nice. But it is kind of sad. It is kind of sad when you're just working a job that you don't want to do, when you're seeing other people around you probably doing things that you would rather be doing that are frankly more fun than what you're doing. But that's not why. But that's not why it was depressing. It was just the old people there, and the fact that that was their only option. So but hey, it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
All right, what else is in the news?
Qantas pays first dividend in almost 6 years as profit climbs.
Wait, say that one more time.
Qantas pays first dividend in almost 6 years as profit climbs.
I have no idea who that is. Is that a person? Quanta?
Qantas is a Australian airline.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm surprised because I didn't know until now Qantas was not making as much profits as it should be making to keep itself afloat.
I mean, I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes, but whatever it is, it's working.
Yep,
I mean,
they're back on track.
if they're keeping themselves afloat. I mean, there are other businesses that I see that still keep themselves afloat. And I'm like, what are they doing that? What are they doing that is keeping them afloat? I mean, but it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yes, Qantas Airways Limited is paying its first dividend since before the pandemic, underscoring the airline's financial recovery following the crisis and the increasing demand for air travel.
So, pretty much, because of the pandemic, they suffered, and it took them 6 years to get back on track.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's yeah, they should have been out of business because like there are a lot of businesses that suffered because of the pandemic. It's a blessing that they even survived. It's amazing how they survived.
It is, yes.
So I mean, they're back on track. So they just gotta hope that another pandemic won't hit again, because then they'll probably be in trouble.
Then they'll be done for good.
Yeah, they'll be done.
Yes.
Yeah, they were just yeah, they were. I don't want to say they were lucky. They were fortunate enough to
It's
not
a
go out.
miracle that they're still alive to this day.
Yeah, it really is. So I mean, hey, let's just hope another pandemic doesn't hit them, so like they won't have to suffer and then climb back up after a couple of years.
Exactly.
But what else in the news?
Ghana at its lowest point, but Mahama's sauna is rejuvenating.
Huh? Is there more on this story?
Yes, Speaker of the Parliament Alban Bagbin has described Ghana as being at its lowest point, but says President John Dramani Mahama's State of the Nation address sauna has brought renewed hope. On Thursday, February 27th, President Mahama delivered his first sauna in Parliament, pledging to restore the country's struggling economy.
Interesting. Very interesting. What are your thoughts?
Well, that's news to me. If the previous presidency led to Ghana's moments in crisis like that, well, Mahama's got big shoes to fill.
Yeah, 100% agree. Like, they definitely have big shoes to fill, because ultimately speaking, man, yeah, it's a big job, and they gotta work extra hard to fill those shoes. So
Yeah.
I am hoping they fill those shoes, and ultimately speaking, may they have lots of success. What else in the news?
Amazon's Alexa Plus enters crowded AI field.
So, pretty much, Amazon is entering a crowded AI field, thinking that they're going to compete with other AI-like technologies.
Yes.
I would say that they're out of their mind, but at the same time, it is Amazon. They are one of the biggest companies out there, so they probably could compete.
Yeah.
Dude, they could probably even take the top spot. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah. Just got to be smart with how the money's invested and what direction they plan to go ahead with.
I mean, is there anything I wonder what inspired them to, well, I mean, it's not a question, they're a business, and
it's no surprise.
Yeah, no surprise. Yeah, like for the most part, I'm not gonna say they're gonna dominate it, but they definitely have potential to dominate it because they have the money to, and they have the resources to. So I mean, in a
And it
crowded
will
field,
get the attention.
yeah. So in a crowded field like that, yeah, I mean, I could say that they can definitely have tons of success and tons of just great things to do in the future. And obviously I wish them luck, but ultimately speaking, we're gonna see where that goes. They're not gonna go much of anywhere, but they're definitely going to do something. They're definitely going to compete and be in a place where they'll have to compete. But we're gonna see where that goes and where that leads. So let's just see where Amazon goes from here.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Good luck to Amazon, I guess. I guess. I don't really know what else to say, but good luck. Yeah. Um. Yeah. So, what else is in the news?
Meta says it fixed, quote, error after Instagram users reported a flood of graphic and violent content.
Really?
Yeah.
Instagram is allowing graphic and violent content?
Oh yes.
Instagram.
Look, we literally discussed this months ago. One night I was scrolling on Instagram Reels and I saw a woman in her birthday suit with a 4, maybe 3-year-old son sucking on her melons. If that isn't graphic, I don't know what is.
Was it showing the body or like what was it censored?
It was a whole body and it was not censored.
Like so, vaginal section and everything showing.
Everything on a body, unclothed, was visibly shown.
Alright, it's one thing to be unclothed on Instagram. That's not terrible. You should ban that. But why are you
Yeah,
unclothed in front of your children? That's a bit weird.
yeah. But it did get the attention, but it's debatable.
I'm wondering if it. I'm wondering if
Probably not. I'd be surprised it would be, because, well, I'd
you
be
know,
glad if it did, but I would not be surprised if it's still up.
Instagram is cool when they do it, but it's a problem when I do it.
Double standards.
It's
So
double
sad.
standards. Instagram. What if someday I decided to go live on Instagram and expose myself to the many people who will choose to look at my IG live, huh?
Yeah?
What if I chose to post a full naked photo of myself? Just what if I decide to do that, huh? It'll get
Oh,
taken down.
you'd be done. You're
Yeah,
done
I'd
for.
be done. I'd get banned on Instagram immediately.
Exactly.
Because it's a woman. Because she's a mother of four. She really had her kids with her, naked.
Yes.
How old were the kids, or how did they look?
The son was, I think, was like 3, roughly.
Okay, okay. Wait, she had only one son, or just?
Well, that was at least what was seen on that Instagram reel.
I mean, you know what? It's not excusable that she was naked in front of her child, let alone Instagram. But I'm gonna say the young man was not coherent enough to be disturbed by his mother's body. So he only really has the internet to. If that video is it resurfaced everywhere, then he will have to look at his bare naked mother breastfeeding him on Instagram more when he gets older. Even if he doesn't look at it, he'll have to. He'll have to. So
He's
you
gonna have a
gotta say
rough life.
is rough life. Very rough life. I remember back in the day. I'm saying back in the day like I'm that old. And I remember back then when we didn't have any internet. We just had toys. We had fat cigars. Not that I was old enough to smoke a fat cigar, but we had that. Now we have all this Instagram stuff. And yeah, no, it was just simpler back then. Even if it wasn't good, it was simpler. Even if I'm not gonna pretend like I'm saying back in the day it was good. I'm pretty sure that it had its ups and downs and its bad moments, but it was simpler. No internet. People didn't have the need to fake anything. Shoot, I would say in the beginning stages of social media, people were 100% comfortable posting themselves as themselves, no filters at all whatsoever. Now it's like, yeah, but we're talking about a naked woman. But as for like the content on Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg, do better. Come on, man. You have kids on there, you have adults on there. I'm not on there right now. My account, like my account is disabled, but I'm not on there right now. But still, like, do better, Zuck. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I do wonder if people used to call him, like, make fun of him and call him Mark Zuckerberg.
Isn't that literally his name?
No, sucker, like sucker, not Zuck.
SU, not
Yeah,
ZU. Right, okay.
yeah. Who cares? Who cares? I don't really care. But anyways, yeah, Zuckerberg, do better. That's all I gotta say. But is there anything else in the news?
Man's brain turned to glass by Vesuvius volcano ash cloud.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Man's brain turned to glass by Vesuvius volcano ash cloud.
Really?
In 2020, researchers discovered a black, glassy substance inside the skull of a person who died during the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in
AD 79, and his brain
Yes.
was turned to glass.
Well, that's what they say.
I mean, a long time ago.
Yeah.
So a brain survived because it was surrounded by glass, or something, or it was like surrounded by glass or covered in glass.
But the person's body tissue must have been heated to above 510 degrees Celsius or 950 degrees Fahrenheit for the glass to form, according to the study.
I would say, man, study his brain, see what he knew. That's what I would say. See what he knew.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, he probably seen a lot of things that we haven't seen. See what he knew. We have the technology for it now. There's no excuse. So
Yes,
see,
no excuse. But that doesn't mean they're going to use it. Because if people find out about that technology, then there's going to be pressure for those people in the field to use that technology again.
I see. So do it in secret. Not saying
Yes.
that's okay. Not saying that's okay, but do it in secret.
Yes, they're going to do that anyway.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna do that anyways. Yeah, that's true.
Very true, yeah.
But yeah, hey, if that's true, that's amazing. A man's brain is turned to glass, and he died that long ago. So hey, that's definitely something.
Yes.
So hey, just do the research, check his brain, see what he knew, and who knows? There's probably gonna be stuff that are in his brain that they're gonna hide from us. But check his brain. That's all you can really do. If his brain actually survived.
Yeah.
But is there anything else in the news?
US dock workers approved 62% wage hike in new 6-year contract.
Wage hike. Is there more? Is there more about that?
Yes, dock workers on the US East and Gulf coasts overwhelmingly approved a 6-year contract Tuesday, averting the threat of a strike that could have crippled the economy.
Interesting. Well, what are your thoughts on that?
Wow, that must have been desperate, because anything happened to those docks, wow, they got something coming, that's for sure.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And for the most part, um, yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really know what else to say. I just agree.
And if they are worried about the docks being halted, thinking as if it is heavily relied on to keep the US economy intact, what does that say about the current state of the US economy?
That is a very interesting question. What does it say about the current U.S. economy? What does that say exactly?
Well, it tells me that things in the US are not looking as good as they thought. And I know Trump has been at least a couple weeks in office, but of course, gotta give it time. It's not every president that comes in the White House is a miracle worker. Just snap their fingers and make everything okay. It takes time to fix things and address issues that came under responsibilities from the previous administration. And
True.
this goes with any president. Like, whatever issues that happened from the last administration, the new administration will do what they can to fix the issues that the previous administration was unable to fix when they were in power.
True. I can't refute that. I mean, hey, it's definitely going to take some time. So I thought we knew the U.S. economy was that good anyways. I thought we knew it already. You know. Yeah, it's definitely very telling. So I'll say this, man, it's definitely going to take some time for things to get done and things to get done properly. I don't necessarily, I still think 4 years is enough time, but it's definitely enough time to fix some things, not everything, but some things. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens from here on until things are fixed. But yeah, what else is in the news?
Romania's Georgescu taken in for questioning to Prosecutor General's office amid countrywide raids.
Is there more on that story?
Yes, a far-right populist who won the first round in Romania's cancelled presidential race last year was stopped in traffic by police on Wednesday and taken in for questioning by prosecutors.
Why was he taken in for questioning? Like, are they learning that he cheated?
Well, that's most people are saying that he could have cheated, but it is complicated. I'm not going to defend or go against anyone or on whatever side, but I will say that if there was a reason to take him for questioning, they got big. I will say they more have big shoes to fill in terms of providing a reason to hold him for questioning and not let the presidential race continue. But if information does come out and it's not what we thought it was, given the pressure and the attention it's gotten, who is anyone to say that this isn't a way to prevent a figure that a country's majority populace were in favor of the candidate in question that was taken into questioning by judicial authorities.
Interesting. And so, because a guy has gotten so popular and is on the brink of, and is on the brink of winning, or has won, um, they're saying, this guy's suspicious. We're gonna take him in for questioning.
It's
And
more than
because,
just his popularity. I think during his campaigning, to convince supporters to give him the vote, there has to be something that he would have said to the people that people on the higher ups or somewhere in the elitist groups are like, oh, if he gets in and he does what he says he'll do, we're done. We're done for. And from that logic, they did whatever they can to prevent him to get into power. But you're never going to hear stories like that from mainstream media because, well, they are part of the group, whether or not people would like to agree. Everyone, if you have any amount of power that can shift the way that we live our lives, and there's someone that comes in to put an end to all of it, why wouldn't you put a stop to it? Because everything was all going well for you until someone with ideas that the majority of the people like, but yeah, you don't like, you would be worried. You would do what you can to stop that person from getting into power and putting an end to whatever acts and scenarios that you got planned up.
true, it's true. I can't disagree with that. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I hope the guy's innocent. And I hope that, if he's innocent, he wins. If the people like his ideas, then he does win. I hope he is successful. If he doesn't win, keep your chin up. Try again next time, I guess. But if there is a next time. So, that's all I really gotta say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all really you can say. But, is there anything else in the news?
Extremely rare cycle of paintings unearthed in Pompeii.
Uh, is there more in the story?
Yes, an extremely rare cycle depicting a raucous ritual involving the god of wine has been unearthed in the ancient Roman city of Pompeii, the archaeological site have said.
Wine?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Huh. I didn't even know there was a god of wine.
No, neither did I.
I didn't even know there was a god of a specific beverage, but it is what it is, I guess.
And it was what it was.
So you're telling me this was artwork? Is the article showing what the artwork looks like?
Well, there are a few pictures. Well, that was one in the summary.
I'm gonna assume the god of wine is like a woman or something.
I'll send you a picture of one of the photos from a article covering that story.
Oh, okay.
But hey, I never thought I'd hear the day.
Did you find the picture yet?
I'm sending it now and should have arrived.
It's just a dude writing on a paper. What?
Well, that's one of the pictures from one of the sources.
It's just a guy writing on a piece of paper. What?
What?
I'm so confused.
Well, it's something.
Like it's just two pickaxes in the back with two buckets in the front, and hold on, some clothes in the background. This looks like a modern picture.
It is a modern picture.
Why would they put this picture along with an article we found a photo of the god of wine?
Well, they believe it was what was said. It's what they believe was related to the story. They made the connection and just ran with it. They do the best they can, but not
Wait,
everything is in perfection.
is that the guy who found it?
It's not clear what his involvement was, but
Um,
he's somehow connected to the
oh, wait.
archaeological findings.
Okay. I thought this was literally about. I thought this was literally like the best picture they can find of quote unquote the god of wine.
Now,
Quote.
there's more, but I can't. There's not much that I can see right now that would also prove the story further.
Oh, got you. No problem. Okay, I thought that's all they had.
Now,
I thought.
there would have to be more for a
Yeah.
story like that.
So I'm assuming that guy in in the photo found like a picture relating to that, and
Yeah, and just stuck with it.
yeah, I guess so. But it is what it is. I mean, God of wine, it's pretty stupid, but I know people like wine, but I didn't think that people would make a god out of it.
Well, the more you know.
Yeah, that's true. But what else is in the news?
Gestamp won 188 million in 2024 and billed more than 12 billion in an adverse environment.
Interesting. Very interesting. He won a lot of money, but I'll be honest, it's kind of hard to believe that people can win money in like this day and age. I don't know. It sounds more believable when you're talking from an early 2000s standpoint, but in 2024, it doesn't really seem like people win money. It just
Yeah,
seems like it just feels like people either get rich or yeah, they pretty much work hard for it. It's I don't know. I mean, I know we've reported on stories like this before, but it's like it just does not seem like people win money. You know what I mean?
yeah, and if they do, there's always a price to pay for that money.
Yeah, I 100% agree. There's always a price to pay, especially when you have money such as that amount. And yeah, for the most part, I gotta say, like yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like people would actually legitimately win money. It just seems like you either earn it or you're born in it. But hey, ultimately speaking, it's like I said, it is what it is.
And it was what it was.
Exactly. So, for the most part, I'll say this. Yeah, I mean, congratulations to the person who won the money, and hopefully they're using that money for even better things other than what they're doing. And yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. I mean, how much money was it again?
One,
It's been 88 million. Yeah, that's generational wealth, and
it is, yeah.
I hope they keep building off of that money and making and sustaining that money. I mean. And just like ensuring that they have that money for a very long time.
Indeed.
But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Apple introduces new child safety initiatives, including an age-checking system for apps.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
get an age checking thing for apps, like all apps.
Yeah, Apple on Thursday announced a range of new initiatives designed to help parents and developers create a safer experience for kids and teens using Apple.
What are
Yeah,
they gonna do?
that is a good question.
What are they gonna do about that? I mean,
Well, two things will
yeah.
happen. The the developers in question will be quick to ban it, or if they don't ban them quick enough, they'll be in a lot of trouble.
Well, I mean, Pornhub lets anybody go on as long as you're 18. So what are you really gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, what are you really gonna do then? I mean, it's like, okay, you're trying to make it safe for kids. How about just not let kids be on the phone? Maybe give them a toy. Give them a video game. Like, that's the only technology that they should know of. Like a video game console, something. Like put them in front of the TV. Well, maybe not in this, maybe not in this day, but still. I don't know. Have them watch Teen Titans Go. I'm pretty sure that show is still continuing. Actually, and also, I'm not gonna lie. It's the only cartoon that I would. It's the only cartoon that's stupid. That is very stupid, but I would trust. But I would trust because it's not a bad show. But yeah, anyways, it's like, yeah, put them in front of a video game or something, man. It's like, give them a toy. Like, I'm gonna give them a phone. Actually, you know what? If you're gonna give them a phone, give them one of those phones that don't have much on them. Give them a flip phone. I'm not talking about a modern day flip phone where you can touch the screen, because they actually do have those. Although I don't get the point of like the number thing on the phone if you can just easily. Never mind. It is what it is. If you can just touch the screen, but that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this, John? Man?
Well, about time. Yes, about time. Should have
It
done
took,
it. They should have done it years ago. But here we
yeah,
are.
I mean, it took them long enough to. So I mean, it would have been better if they done it 6 years ago.
Exactly.
But hey, they're doing it now. So, but how are they going to handle it? That's the real question.
That is the question.
How are they going to handle it? Are they going to handle it actually responsibly? Like, I don't know. Because I feel like the only way they can handle it, I'm not saying they should, but they'd have to scan people's faces. Although they should, unless they can find a better alternative way of like figuring out what a child's age is without doing that. Because I think even that's an invasion of one's privacy, just scanning their faces. They're just saying like, put your face in this camera so we can confirm your age, etc., etc., etc. I think that's only acceptable. I think that's only acceptable if, like, you're trying to, for like, I don't know, maybe I actually don't think that's acceptable. To be fair, I know that in certain aspects it is acceptable. Maybe like when you're trying to connect your card to something or anything like that, but because just to confirm your age and your ID and whatnot, but that's about it. Yeah, but that's all I got right there. Is there anything else in the news?
Supreme Court of the United States signals support for straight women's reverse discrimination case.
Wait, what? I'm sorry. What?
The U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments in a case that may redefine reverse discrimination claims, with justices appearing likely to side with Marlene Ames. A ruling is expected by the end of June.
So what does that mean?
There's more.
I don't really have a real opinion about that. I mean, you say like may the better side win. Yeah. You? How about you? Hello.
Hello.
Do you have anything to say? Because I'll be honest, I don't really have an opinion about it.
Uh, Neither do I, but there's more. There's a ruling in Ames' favor could impact workplace discrimination claims, including lawsuits alleging racial bias due to DEI policies, while some Democratic lawmakers oppose the court's potential decision.
So this is about gender discrimination.
Yeah, this is just like DEI policies in general.
I mean, yeah, this has been in the news for years and years and years. I personally would have thought that we were past this. I'm gonna be honest. I really would have thought we were past gender discrimination and whatnot. I mean, all I'm gonna say is this. I mean, once again, may the better side win. Uh, yeah, I mean, if it's about like a job what they're not letting women do because they're women, there's clearly that clearly only men can do, then that's one thing. But I really don't know what else to say.
Neither do I.
Yeah. So I really thought we were past the whole gender discrimination thing, but I guess we're still here.
Yes, we sure are.
But what is there anything else in news, or is that it?
There's a couple more.
Okay, cool.
DOGE altering 20-year-old DOD software to automate firing of workers.
Wait, what?
Engineers at the Department of Government Efficiency have been working on a program that has the capability to automatically generate lists of government employees, ranking them, and in firing order. Wired reported the engineers appear to be editing the coding in the program.
What the? Why would you edit a coding that would fire you?
Well,
That's what
I think they want to get the firing process out of the way and continue with other stuff on the agenda.
kind of messed up though. You're making a program that'll potentially like imagine you getting fired by your own programming that you made. Like
Exactly. That would be sad.
that would be sad. That means you got to work extremely hard until you decide to say, "Hey, I'm gonna hang up the boots. I'm gonna retire." Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure no man wants to get fired by their own coding formula. No man
Exactly.
wants to get fired by their own creation. That would be sad.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm gonna say is this, man. They're making the coding. I'm not gonna say they shouldn't. If they do, then shoot. Some of them will probably get fired by their own coding creation. I mean, hey, it is what it is, though. I mean, that's the world that we're living in.
Yeah. But it was what it was.
All right, what else in the news?
Musk's Starlink gets FAA contract raising conflict of interest concerns.
Okay, what is the conflict that is interest that is being concerned?
The Federal Aviation Administration said it is testing the use of Elon Musk's Starlink. Musk said that the switch was in part due to issues with services provided by Verizon, which had a contract with the federal agency. Starlink is expected to install 4,000 terminals that are set to be deployed in Atlantic City and at a non-safety critical sites in Alaska.
I'll be honest. Do any of us really care what Elon Musk is doing? Yeah, me neither.
We just hear him every now and then, but that doesn't mean we care.
That's true. That is true. I do not care. I mean, I don't hate the guy, but I just don't care. I just don't. I mean, Elon, do your thing. No. Yeah, I gotta say. Yeah. Good luck, Elon. There's people who like you. There's people who hate you. I don't hate you, but I just don't care. I mean, Elon is he's a
He is quite the character, alright.
yeah, but he's working with Trump, and
He's making headlines.
he's getting women pregnant. Yes, he did get one. Yes, he did get one pregnant. Apparently.
Yes,
But yeah, Elon. Good luck. Keep doing your thing. I just don't care. Is there anything else in the news?
that's us.
All right.